And hello again. I am the light of the Leo. So happy to be with you this afternoon to talk about this subject. Um, I know stuff like this arises like concern, arises like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's saying these things. Oh, she's going to hell, all this kind of stuff. But I would love to put my opinion on this into the webosphere, just to let everybody know at least this opinion. So let me just put on a little music. I can't stand a dry session. So oh, that sounds horrible. I said that. Yeesh. Oh yeah, I like to have a little music in the background. The silence for me is deafening. I know a lot of people can just be in silence like that, but not this gal. Hello, Regina. She says, "Hey," a good friend of mine. All right, so this is what I'm going to start off with. I do have what Amber Rose, that's her name, right? Lord Jesus, yes. Amber Rose said about God and how she feels. So let's just get into that real quick. I got this from Instagram, the neighborhood talk, one of my favorites with the shade room. So let me just get this up for you guys really quick. And let's see what it says.
Like
believe in God. Yeah,
like a higher power
sure.
that was like, here's people and here's Earth and here's the planets. No.
No. So if you don't believe in God, what do you exactly believe in then?
I more so believe in science than like an invisible entity named God was like, let there be light. It just seems far-fetched to me.
Really? So have you ever been to church before?
Yeah. Bunch of
And then
times.
when you go to church, you just don't be feeling it. You be like, damn, y'all be talking like, how do you be feeling?
I just don't believe Jesus died and came back to life for my sins. I just believe that's crazy. That's ludicrous. I believe it's manipulative, and I believe that.
I believe in God, but I just think that it just depends on as far as I get what you're saying, as far as for your own belief, because different people cannot.
All right, so it seems like they stopped at there, but let's just take just a quick gander at the comments. This young lady says she ain't lying, and that's why it's upsetting. And she got about 514 likes and a bunch of replies. Another person says she's entitled to her beliefs, but as far as for me and my house, that's all I got. I love that. This is awesome. Some people get it and some don't. And it's like, what are we leaning towards? But, whatever. And another person here says the spirit is real. However, she wants to define it for herself. Excuse me. If she wants to define it for herself, it's fine. God is undeniable and she needs Jesus. And I'll put the last thing here. The lack of faith puts a lot of things into perspective. That one's deep, and we're going to talk about that before we get off the line. So let me just put myself back up here real quick. Oh yeah, for fair use. Shoot, let me put this up here. Yes, just like my friend said, this is, fair use. And of course, we're always giving our credit to where I got it from. And of course, this came from the neighborhood talk on Instagram. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Regina. All right, so let me just remove this, take this down. All right, so let's think about, or at just the very least, talk about what Amber said. She said that she doesn't believe in a higher entity or a higher, like a God or anything like that. She believes rather in science. So it sounds like she basically wants to have the proof in the pudding. She wants to know exactly how things are happening. And, I don't blame her for feeling that way, because sometimes when it comes to, when you're in a space, because you also got to think about the person too. Every person is different on this earth, and we all have our different upbringing. We all have our different experiences that shape us, and not exactly make us who we are, but shape our thought processes. processes as well. So with somebody like Amber Rose, she came up from the trenches in Philly, and she was done wrong by Kanye, in my opinion, because he just degraded her to a whore. But he loved her so deeply for so long. But when she couldn't take it and she left, he did a whole campaign to make herself look like a whore. And I think that wasn't fair. And I also do believe that really affected her for all of her life. And I believe that when so many things like that happen to you, and you have to try to find some goodness in the earth, and there are so many people that's not good, and your comments are riling with negative things, what else are you supposed to think? You know, those are the times where you would start to think, well, shoot, is there even a God? Nobody can even be nice to me, much less these Christians out here that are supposed to be nice to me. So for her to say, I'd rather believe in science, what's funny is that she hasn't seen greatness beyond measure. She doesn't see the miracle that life is, and that's okay. That is okay. She's certainly entitled to how she feels, and in a space like this, and I want you guys to notice that I put myself not as a Christian, but as the lover of Christ, because my little brother, hey Jonathan, good, thank you for coming. What was I saying? Yes, I put in the description, I am a lover of Christ, because sometimes it doesn't look favorable to call myself a Christian because of how so many people have represented Christianity and religion to be negative, mean, and hurtful. And I don't want to align myself with that. Of course, by definition, I'm still a Christian because I confess with my mouth and I believe in my heart that God raised Jesus from the dead. But I'd rather just refer to myself as a lover of Christ. And it's stuff like that I just can't blame people for thinking like this. You know, sometimes we've done it to ourselves. And also, another thought process that I have is, and it just left me. Would you hate that, y'all? Anywho, another thought process that I have, I was thinking about church and stuff, and how in a space like this, people would try to throw Jesus at people, tell them that they're going to hell, that they need Christ, that you need Jesus. It's like, you can't tell nobody what you need. Now, I personally know the awesome effects and benefits of having Jesus Christ in my life, but I can't make you feel that. That's a process that you have to go through for yourself. Amber has to see that for herself. If that's her path. If that's what she's going to do, she's going to see it for herself before anything. There's nothing that I would be able to say or try to feed it to her to make her feel that faith is better, or that living a life of faith is a great way to live. And also, I feel like the people that would condemn her to hell, or even just be bad, mean, and negative towards her, are people that came up in the church and never had a choice to ask about the religion. People that never had an opportunity or felt that they were able to question anything or even look into any other religions or doctrines. I gave myself the opportunity to do so. While I was in a space where, I didn't have a church at the time, but I wanted to dig deeper into more things, because I feel like if I love Jesus Christ, I want to know why other people are not leaning more towards him, why they're going to being New Ageism and other stuff like Buddhism and different. Buddhism is a really big one that a lot of people go to after they are unfortunately heartbroken by Christians. So when I looked into Buddhism, when I looked into New Ageism and things of that nature. Shoot, I even looked into Satanism, voodoo, hoodoo, all of those things. And I feel like there's a freedom in being able to question and even to talk to God about that. You know, it says in the Bible that we can question God. Like, why can't we question our pastors? And unfortunately, in some churches, we don't have a whole lot of learned pastors. There's not a lot of pastors that can actually give you an answer as to say, hey, my brother's gay. Does God still love him? Do we go based upon what everybody else has been saying in the church? Or do I find a way to give some compassion? Because me not being with my little brother in heaven is not cool. But I already know that I will have him in my life for the rest of my life and the ever after. But anywho, a lot of pastors, a lot of people that's higher up in clergy don't have the answers, which is why it's easy to go over to science, because E is going to equal MC squared. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're going to be able to calculate things, but even still, the most geniuses of geniuses, like even Albert Einstein, can't deny the existence of a higher power. So it is simply a time for people to find their own way. If that's how she feels right now, that is just how she feels. I feel that none of us need to try to bend her in some way that she needs to go. Let your life be a testimony. So hopefully one day she'll see. For all we know, Jesus already has a way that he's going to prick her heart. Maybe it already happened and she did not want to go with that. And all of that is cool as well. But this is one of those times where we have to be like, you know what? God bless her. She'll be all right. And keep on pushing. This is hilarious because when I heard this, I automatically heard all the negativity that would come from Christians. And that breaks my heart. I feel that anybody in a space like that deserves some time to just figure things out. Just like with men and women that are with people that they don't need to be with. Unfortunately, they stay in those relationships until it hurts enough, until they see the light for themselves. And I feel it's the same way for faith. You have to find faith for yourself for it to truly be yours, for it to truly work in your life, because it took me a while to build up my own faith. And if she starts going down the road of saying, you know what, Jesus could have died for me too. Oh gosh. And I did feel real sad when she said, or somebody said, the story of Jesus dying for us is just like a form of manipulation. Like that's scary. But all I can think about is how many people must have manipulated her in her life. It would be so difficult to trust anybody, especially an entity that you can't touch. Of course she feels that way. Oh God. Regina said, you're doing great. Thank you, Regina. And Jonathan says, praying a testimony comes out of this for her. Absolutely. And that's actually how I want to end this. That's what she needs. She doesn't need anybody's opinion. She doesn't need anybody coming down on her, because that's literally what she's been receiving all her life. Literally. And it's those same things that will push her continuously away from the Lord. For all we know, Jesus plans on coming to her into her dreams, or saving her from a life-threatening something, to show her that he is here for her, when nobody else around her gave her the respect that she needed to feel validated, when nobody else around her showed her that she is valuable. Jesus was always here for her. And that's what we need to do. Continue to pray for her. If instead of writing negative comments, we prayed, if instead of writing, well, as for me and mine, I'll trust the Lord and keep it pushing, like, no, let's pray instead. Because if all of us, or because I didn't make any comments, but if everybody that made a comment on that thing, actually said a prayer for her, asking for God to love on her, hold her, keep her, continue to have her find herself even the more. Because I'm not saying she doesn't know who she is. I'm not saying she's not grounded. But in this life, we are continuously finding who we are. So if we could just pray that God gives some more love, some more affection to her, and show her that He's here, who knows what could happen to her in her life. I'm not saying that she's going to start speaking in tongues and doing cartwheels in a church somewhere, but I believe she could build a relationship with Christ, something that she's never connected with, for all I know at least. All right, Regina's giving prayer hands and such like that, and some heart and love, and she also says, the life she has lived may also play a part. That's exactly what I was saying. Yes, I'm sorry. The life that she lived may also play a part in why she is believing the way she is. The world may not have been nice to her, and it may have caused her thoughts to go that route. Regina, that's literally what I was saying. She came up in Philly, and it was really rough for her coming up. And the only reason why I know that is because she has had those interviews and I've heard her. And things were not easy for her. She stripped and she got into that relationship. And then he made it his business to make sure people saw her as a whore. Something less than the woman that was there for him after his mother passed away. Child. So that's why I say I understand why she feels that way. I can get that because all she's been receiving these days has been negativity. How can you believe in a God that possibly loves you when so many people have done you so wrong and made you feel horrible and made you feel degraded? Why would you? So this is why we do what Regina said. Let's pray for her and others. Because it's God that can make the change. For someone that has that mindset, that's thinking in that space, there's nothing we'd be able to say to push her towards God. It's either going to sound like criticism or negativity, because that's where she is. So all I would do is pray. And I hope the best for her. I've personally never thought that she was the tramp or whore that people would say that she is. I never thought that, because look at all her relationships she's been in. It's not like she was hopping around from penis to penis. She had some really lengthy relationships. And they even treated her wrong. They cheated on her. And it's like, looking at how things happen for her, it's like, no wonder she had to do the slut walk. Because if you're going to keep on calling me a slut, then I'm just going to go ahead and take it into my own hands and just say, hey, I own it. And find some power through there. Once again, I don't blame her for feeling the way she feels. Sometimes life can be so hurtful, and I feel like she's gotten the raw end of the deal. She's gotten the bad end of the stick in a lot of situations. So God bless her, no matter how she feels about God, because I know it's not hurting my relationship with God. So, I pray that she finds a way to move forward in life in peace and joy. I'm pretty sure she feels she has that. Shoot, for all we know, she does have that. For all we know, she may have a relationship with God that she doesn't even understand that she has. Who knows? But anywho, God bless her. This has been the Light of the Leo. Just a reminder, all you have to do to follow me on the Facebooks and YouTube. Well, Facebook is my personal Facebook. It's Jennifer Star McCullum. But if you want to hit me up on the YouTubes, all you have to do is type in the Light of the Leo with no spaces. It will automatically look for the Light of the Leo with spaces, but tap on the one without the spaces and you will find me immediately. I am also the Light of the Leo on TikTok as well as Instagram. Just come on and follow me. And yeah, let's enjoy this thing called life together. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful, marvelous day. Bye.